Giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, as well as the men that taught them, and peace and blessings to the 144,000, as well as the rest of the elect. This Brother Taza Pie here with another lesson. And what I think I'm going to do for the next few lessons, I kind of want to highlight some of Trump's policies just to give a Hebrew Israelite perspective, and for newcomers coming into this truth, to give them a point of reference, all right, for the policies that's coming down the pike, all right. And I'm going to just start with a real simple one for this lesson, and that's Trump declaring two sexes, all right. There are only two sexes, and, and people got all, they celebrated. The conservatives, of course, celebrated, but you have the so-called liberals. They're upset behind some of these policies that Trump are implementing. That's just common sense policies. Like, it's common sense that there are only two sexes, all right, of humans. Anything on this earth, all right, that moves, lives, and breathes. All right. And that's what we're going to get into. As you see, I have Genesis pulled up, but that's the way the Lord created it. Now, all of this madness came about just to highlight the mental illness and the psychosis of Americans, all right, here in Babylon today. All right. Because it shouldn't have been there shouldn't have been a celebratory cry for Trump saying what's obvious. There should have been an outcry when they said that there's more than just two sexes, which that madness comes straight out of the Talmud. All right. They were pushing Talmudic principles and philosophies, ideologies also on you, these demonic ideologies they was pushing on the public, and then they got no pushback. So this shows or again highlights not only the mental illness, but the weakness of people here in America. All right. Y'all are comfortable, lazy, out of shape, fat, just, ripe for the pickings. People in America are ripe for the pickings. All right. And I don't want to, make no super long intro. So let's get started here. Genesis 5:1. It says, "This is the book of the generations of Adam, in the day that the Most High created man. In the likeness of God made he him." All right. And again, this is the generations of Adam. All right. So this is in reference to the Adamites. All right. They were the ones created, as you go back to Genesis. All right. Chapter 1. Go here. All right. Genesis 1. And about the 26th verse, it tells you that, Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. "And the Most High said," well, that ain't the Most High, Salakia. All right. "And the Alahayim," all right. So the Alahayim, that's Allah, meaning God or power. And then the Yam on the end of it, that suffix Yam is how you make a word plural. So it's Allah, God, and then Yam, plural. You would pronounce it Alahayim, all right, which means gods, judges, or powers. Okay. Now I'm going to show you. Because the scriptures say prove all things. All right. So here we go. You see Elohim, but that's not, we don't have words such as Elohim in the Paleo Hebrew. Now let's click on it. All right. So you have the word here, Alahayim. All right. The the La. You see the Ha, the look, Jot, right there, the little small character is the Yah, and at the end, the Ma. And you put it all together as Alahayim. All right? Now you see the transliteration of the Yiddish, or the Syrian Hebrew, if you will, Elohim, but that's not a Paleo Hebrew word. To pronounce it properly in the ancient tongue, it's Alahayim, all right? And it's right off the bat, outline of biblical usage, plural. 1A, rulers, judges. 1B, divine ones, all right? So these were the Adamites, the generations of Adam, all right? It says the angels, and then you see 1D, gods. All right. Definition 2, plural intensive, excuse me, singular meaning, but it says God, goddess. I don't even know why they put that in there. There no goddesses. Well, I mean, I guess women will be goddesses, but, you know, that's the point, first definition. So going back, right? Let's see. And the Alahayim said, let us, that's why it says us. You know, when you don't go into the Hebrew, this us becomes a mystery, because I always wondered that, well, who is this us? And then you learn, oh, it's not God. It was the gods, plural. All right, Yahweh Shai with the heavenly host, the hopeful elect, well, the elect, as we know today. All right. The elect are getting ready to be raised back up to meet Yahweh Shai in the clouds. Those would be the same men, or the same men, all right, who helped Yahweh Shai bring creation into fruition, all right? And it says, again, and the Alahayim said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish. So you know everybody was not given dominion. So this is not in reference to everybody. Everybody can't rule. All right? That's the problem with the world right now today. Everybody's trying to rule. Psalms 2 asks, why do the heathen rage? Because they're all trying to rule. No, one person can sit on the throne at one time. Anything else is of confusion. All right? So the ones who had dominion were the Adamites. And the Alahayim said, let us make man, all right, or the Adamites in our image. All right? What was that image? That image was that they were placed in the high righteous order by giving verbally, verbally, the law, statutes, and commandments, you know, as we would know them today. But at that point, all right, they were put or placed inside of the Adamites, all right, in their inward parts. All right, so they knew the law. That's how they had the image of the Alahayim. They were set in order with the law, all right, by a by divine I guess gift, or divine, what would you call that? But anyway, the Lord, he chose the Adamites to make in his image, all right, so that they could have dominion over creation. All right, to have dominion over creation, you have to have order. And this is what they gave them. All right, so it says, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon earth. So the Alahayim created man in his own image. In the image of the Alahayim created he him. Male and female created he them. All right. So you got it right there. Two sexes, male and female. That's all you need. And all that other weirdness, all right, is just man being willful to go against the Most High and his word and his creation, all right, just to be wicked. All right, because when you get into all of this, the alphabet acronym, it doesn't work. It doesn't serve a function. It has no purpose other than you just freaking off. And that's what where the enemy wants you. Freaking off, giving up your energy, but not getting anything in return. All right? When man lay with a woman, they can procreate. All right? They can build upon the nation of Israel. But man laying with man, that's just two nasty ass niggas just doing some nasty ass shit for their own perverted, nasty ass pleasure. Same with women, woman with woman. And any of this other weird shit. The Most High created the woman, let's go to that, for the man. And that's it. All right? And you got these goddamn, these Arabs over in the Middle East, Pakistan, Iraq and shit, and they got this term, all right, called women for, it goes like women for procreation, men for pleasure. All right. So in other words, they popping little boys over there. Where does all this come from? All right. This goes back to the demonic ideologies and philosophies of Esau Edom. All right. Because he's in control of the earth and able to push this goddamn madness upon the world. And then it takes for another goddamn Edomite to come up and say there are only two sexes, as if y'all didn't goddamn know. And again, that's Talmudic ideology, which is, you know, where the church at? Y'all got so much goddamn shit to say about Great Millstone, but when all of this perversion is taking place, y'all don't, where are y'all? Where the fuck are y'all? Goddamn secular church ain't worth a fuck. That's why all of this shit, all of this wickedness is running rampant. Because you so-called Christians, you only Christian in ideology. You're not a Christian in practice. You only a Christian in word. You're not a Christian in deed. Sorry, punk ass motherfuckers. But I digress. Let's look at this. Now it says here, 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 4, for the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the Most High to the pulling down of strongholds, casting down imaginations. Wasn't that an imagination? There's over 100 sexes. I forget how many. It was ridiculous. There's more than two sexes. There's over 100, 200 sexes. How? Where are you getting this from? All right. And then you go to, and I might pull it up, but I'll quote it. When you look at Ecclesiasticus, all right, in the Apocrypha, chapter 42, verse 24, it says, all things are doubled one against another. Now, why am I bringing this up? Because that's the way that the Lord made this realm to operate. All right, positives and negatives, ups and the downs, lefts and rights, hots and colds. And from the doubles, the polar opposites of one another, things work. All right? Nations come from men and women, not LGBTQ. Tribes come from men and women, not the alphabet community. All right? That was a cleverly devised scheme, if you will. You can't call it a fable, but that was a cleverly devised scheme to get you to participate in your very own genocide. Dumbass. And it worked. Who would have thought? You know? Who would have thought that a man would ever be attracted? You know, on this scale, you know what happens. But on this scale, it's like it's an epidemic of perversion. Especially here in Babylon. But again, I mentioned, you know, these Arabs overseas, it's not just in Babylon. Or them Ishmaelites, you know, shit, they damn near worse than Esau. But it says here, 2 Corinthians 10:5, casting down imaginations, all right? That was a wicked imagination. The church didn't cast that shit down. The secular church, all right? Well, hell, you got Hebrew Israelites who don't condemn the shit. And you have to wonder, but you know, it's all for that's what the scriptures say. All things work together for the good of them that love the Lord. And he said that you could do nothing against the truth, but for the truth. You see? So, you know, it had to be done for the work of the Most High. I get that. But man, it's a hard, that's, you know, that's rough right there. You know, couldn't nobody but the Most High do something like that. You know, for two grown-ass men have an affection toward one another. That's horrible. But anyway, right. It says casting down imaginations in every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Mashiach. Are you being obedient to Yahweh Shai by bending over for another man? Or having another man bend over for you? Is that in obedience? Because if not, then you got to cast the shit off. And this is what it's saying. Bring every thought to the obedience of Mashiach. There's more than two genders. That ain't what I'm reading. I just read male and female created he them. So you got to throw that shit out because it is not in obedience. Your thoughts got to line up, all right, with the doctrine of this word. All right? Damn, it says, verse 6, and having in a readiness to avenge all disobedience when your obedience is fulfilled. You know? Yeah, defending the gospel. The apostle just went into that. You got to, it's a duty, an obligation to defend the gospel. So now when we go back, right? All right. I don't want that. Okay. Genesis. And we'll go here. Genesis chapter 5, verse 1. It says, the book of the generations of Adam. In the day that the Most High created man, in the likeness of the Most High made he him, or in the likeness of Elohim made he him. So I got to go back and read it right. All right, Genesis 5:1. This is the book of the generations of Adam, in the day that the Elohim created man. In the likeness of the Elohim made he him. All right, so we was fashioned in the form of the angels. All right, given laws, statutes, and commandments in order to have dominion and rule over the earth and everything in the earth. Now, verse 2 says, male and female created he them, and blessed them, and called their name Adam, in the day when they were created. See? So it was a nation of Adamites. He said he called their name Adam, of the ground. Adama, in the Hebrew, Adam is Adama, meaning of the ground. All right? So the Lord said, again, verse 2, male, man, and female, woman, created he them. This is how procreation takes place. All right? Man get with the woman. All right? They get busy. Then next thing you know, comes a third. A little one. It could be male or female, but they can do that. As Hebrew Israelites, you can do that pretty much, because we got the blessing to be fruitful and multiply. So you can continue that as a man, pretty much your whole life. Now, I'm not telling you to go up there and, have all these children, but I'm saying that in a normal, healthy world, this is a sick world. And I was going to do a lesson, and I can't find the video. But as soon as I find that video, I'm going to do a lesson on the chemical castration of men that's taking place through plastics, just the microplastics themselves, and bisphenol A and all of these other chemicals leaching out of the plastic is literally castrating men. All right, it's to an epidemic now. And they brought out it was a documentary that I watched, and they were bringing out some good info, but now I just got to go back and try to find it. But, all right, we own this, the male and female. That's how things work. To move electrons in an electrical circuit, do you need 3 poles? No, you need 2 poles, a positive and a negative. You go to AC, it's a little different, but everything runs really basically on direct current. AC is just a means of moving electricity over great distances, but once most of your appliances have to be, they have a rectifier in them, which converts 120 back to 12, 13, 14 volts DC. All right? I don't know too many things that I can name that actually runs off of AC. AC is just how they get the power to your house. And then most of your appliances convert that 120 AC back to 12 volt DC. So this is how things run. DC is positive and negative. All right? Now the way that would look sexually, all right, man being positive, the female being negative. And that's not to say that women are bad, men are good. No, it's just how it works. Look at the anatomy. All right? One protrudes, and the other is, I guess invasive, if you will. I don't know the proper term, but one is an innie and the other is an outie. All right? Now, so therefore, this is the representation, and that is how life, the energy of life, flows. All right, through male and female. the elites that run everything, they know exactly what they're doing. All right, to get you involved in all of this nastiness. All right, and you just self-indulging, being self-centered and selfish. And then next thing you know, you look up, you in your 50s or 60s, if you make it that long, with that type of lifestyle, but you don't have nothing to show for it. So yeah, that's that. Let's look at this, Matthew chapter 19, verse 4. This is Yahushua. All right. It says, and he answered and said unto them, have you not read that he which made them at the beginning made them male and female? Right. Have they not read? The hell wrong with people? And then they want to talk down on the scriptures. The scriptures is, I'm living proof that the scriptures is real, that the scriptures work. My brethren are living proof that the scriptures are real. You want to give me some old shit you done read? Oh, man wrote that book and all this shit. Well, where you get that from? Or somebody running their fucking mouth, or you read it in one of Esau's books. But I'm living proof that the book works. So it ain't shit you can tell me. I know how life works. All right, and I'm going to preserve the old ways. That's what the scriptures say. Seek ye the old paths, all right? And that's what Great Millstone is, the vanguard of the old paths. We preserve the old paths, the ways that work, all right? That's what being a man is about, all right? We are builders. Who builds shit that don't work? You build shit that works. If you're a carpenter, you build a house that functions. The doors got to open. If that foundation ain't right, your door's going to jam. Your window's going to jam. The house has to function. That roof over your head, it's got to repel the water. Them walls got to keep that cold and that heat out. It has to function, or else you're a failure as a carpenter. Same as an electrician. I just used the electrical analogy. If you wiring circuits and then you hit the switch and you don't get no lights, no juice, well, you're a failure as an electrician. So how in the hell is it that men are allowed to disallow the scriptures, fail miserably in life, but then they get to talk down on the scriptures? Men in Babylon and even around the world that's living outside of the scriptures, you're failures. Now, some of you got some that, like the scriptures say, are a law unto themselves. All right. So I do give them credit and take them into account. But everybody that's out here doing their own thing, and everybody got their own philosophy and way of life and how they do shit and how they live. All right, well, come Judgment Day, that's going to tell the tale. All right? Judgment Day is going to tell the tale. And that's going to show who was right, who was wrong, who succeed, and who fails. All right? But yeah, the Lord is giving you the truth. Have ye not read that he which made them at the beginning made them male and female, and said, for this cause shall a man leave father and mother, and shall cleave to his wife, not his husband, not his life partner, but a wife. A wife is a woman, servant, all right? A wife is a female servant and helpmeet. That's what it's talking about. A man shall cleave to his wife, and they twain shall be one flesh. Man and man can't be one flesh. This is why it spoke of in Romans, the 1st chapter, about men going after strange flesh. Because man cannot unify with man. Woman cannot unify with woman. Unification comes from penis in vagina. All right? That's how the unification, the twain, become one. In no other way. And it says, verse 6, wherefore they are no more twain, but one flesh. What therefore the Most High had joined together, let no man put asunder. And that's what Esau is doing. He's keeping them from even joining in the first place. But then he, on top of that, for those who do, men who do choose a wife, what does this man do? He makes it just, like a day at the park for a woman to go get a divorce from her husband. Which that should be like, goddamn, women should dread that like a tax audit. But they don't dread it. They dread the marriage more than they dread divorce. And it should be the other way around. But that's because this system and this man in his system makes it easy for the woman. Okay? So this devil has done a lot. He has a lot that he has to answer for. You know? But right, he is anti-life. All right? And what does that mean when I say anti-life? There's a synonym that goes with that, or that you could put with that instead, in this anti-Christ. Because if the Lord say he is the way, the truth, and the life, well then being anti-Christ or anti-Mashiach would be anti-life. That's what this devil is. And his policies and all of his ways are destructive, and they lead to the grave. All right? And yeah, that's pretty much it for that. Lord saying the same thing, Mark 10:6, but from the beginning of creation, all right, the Elohim made them male and female. Okay? And I guess, yeah, let me see real quick. All right, so. All right, so we'll go out here, as I mentioned earlier. And this is Ecclesiastes, the book of Sirach, chapter 42, as mentioned, verse 24. It says, all things are double, one against another, and he had made nothing unperfect. Now, I'm glad I read this, all right, because I forgot about that. Perfection comes with the two. The Lord is saying right here, all things are double, one against another. And he had made nothing imperfect or unperfect. So that's perfection. Male and female together, that's perfect. Man and man, that's an abomination. Same with woman and woman. And then we're not even going to talk about adults and children. All right? You should just be executed on the spot. But, right, the Most High don't make anything imperfect. That acronym shit, that's imperfection. Where the Lord created it, you know, big, handsome, strong, buff man, get with a fine, sexy woman, soft and nice, Yeah, that's perfect. Perfect right there. Have some beautiful Israelite babies. That's what I'm talking about right there. Build a nation. You know, I like that kind of stuff. I don't like all this weird shit going on. It says one thing establishes the good of another, verse 25. One thing establishes the good of another. We're talking about polar opposites. All right. There is no cold without hot. There is no hot without cold. All right. You have to have the other in order to have the one. It says, and who shall be filled with beholding his glory? You know, you can never, yeah. Who can? Who can? You know. But yeah, that's it for this lesson, and I pray that you were edified. And again, we're gonna highlight. I think my next one gonna be the Trump with these tariffs. All right. So again, I just want to kind of give a Hebrew Israelite perspective on some of this madness, because they're trying to overwhelm us. You know, moving fast, putting all this stuff out there. You know, I just saw a picture, and it said these are the events that happened January 2025, just January, and there's a whole page of shit. All right, beginning with the the shit that took place on the New Year's or New Year's Eve. So they started with that, and yes, so in other words, they trying to overwhelm us, and so I'm gonna try to stay on top of it. All right. So with that, shalom.